Hello everybody, it is Stella from New Hope Wellbeing and we are back with another video, and today we are going to be discussing the next of our Sumerian gods. So I hope everybody has been enjoying their week so far, and today's god that we are covering off is a river god, and his name is Enbilulu. Enbilulu. So as I said, he's a river god, and in creation mythology, he is placed in charge of the sacred rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates, by the god Enki. Now you will, as anyone who knows anything about mythology and Christian mythology, these particular rivers seem to come up a lot. So there is a lot tying in these two rivers with in the world of mythology. So he was put in charge of both the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers by the god Enki. He is also the god of canals, irrigation, and farming. In Babylonian times, he becomes the son of Er and is synchronized with Adad. Enbilulu ensured the distribution of water for fields and pastures. As an agricultural deity, he maintained irrigation canals vital for prosperity. In the myth, Enki and the world order, he was entrusted by Enki to regulate both the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers, enforcing his pivotal role in Mesopotamian life. He embodied the archetypes of the protector and the harvest deity. He worked alongside other agricultural gods like Urash and Ningirsu to protect fields and sustain crops. These collaborations highlighted his vital place within the pantheon's agricultural circle. Enbilulu bore many names and identities. He was equated with Enkimindu and Ninbilulu in Sumerian traditions. He was absorbed into the Babylonian pantheon, along with many of the gods, becoming part of Enugu's identity. This transformation reflected the fluid nature of Mesopotamian belief systems, where deities adapted and merged, preserving their essence across cultures. And this is something that you actually see come into play a lot in mythology, where as one civilization falls and another one rises, the gods and the goddesses end up being amalgamated into the civilization that's on the rise. So we saw this with the Thracians and Greek mythology when we covered Thracian mythology, where a lot of Greek mythology kind of overlaid into the Thracian mythology in the end. So it's the same with the Mesopotamian mythology and the Sumerian mythology, and in relation to Babylonian mythology and later mythologies as they come. As you kind of trace it, you kind of start seeing the patterns of, oh, this is this and this is that. So it is a very, very common thing with mythology. So Enbilulu's parentage varied across myths, reflecting the fluid storytelling of Mesopotamian traditions. In some accounts, he was the son of Enlil and Ninil, gods of air and storms. Gosh, what was that? I don't know what that was, but it scared me a little bit. As their child, Enbilulu inherited a connection to natural forces, balancing the raw power of water and its nurturing essence. In other traditions, he emerged as the son of Er, also known as Enki, the god of wisdom, and Abzul's fresh waters. This lineage linked Enbilulu to divine knowledge and mastery over irrigation, essential for life in the ancient fertile crescent. His brothers included Nanana, god of the moon, and Nergal, ruler of the underworld, and Ninazu, who was associated with healing and the afterlife. Together they formed a pantheon of cosmic balance, bridging the heavens, earth, and underworld. As far as we are aware, there were no consorts or children who appeared in any of the myths that are linked to Enbilulu. This absence enhanced the mystique of a deity whose focus remained steadfast on the rivers, canals, and fields he nurtured. These symbols painted Enbilulu as a deity of wisdom, stability, and life-sustaining power. The scepter was his most potent symbol. It represented his control over water and the foundation of Sumerian life. Through his stewardship of rivers and canals, he ensured crops' growth and civilization's prosperity. Now, he didn't have any specific plants or animals or objects that were directly tied to him, like some of the gods do. But his association with farming would suggest that that farming equipment would be symbols for him. And the concept of being a purely agricultural deity reinforced his image as a divine cultivator. His dominion stretched across the waters of Mesopotamia, and he ruled the mighty Tigris and Euphrates rivers, ensuring their flows nurtured the land. So that would be similar. So his role would be very similar in relation to, I suppose, Egyptian mythology in relation with the Nile and the yearly flooding of the Nile and the nurturing of agricultural land in Egypt. So these two rivers are much the same, but for the Mesopotamian land. Well, what we knew as the Mesopotamian land, I should say. So that is just a little bit about this particular god, Enbilulu. Gosh, I can't get it out now. But we will be back next week with some more videos. Until then, I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll chat soon. Bye!